We are in the Saudi Media Forum for its 5th year, one of the largest forums in the world, which is shaping the media's future. Miss Amanda Turnbull is our guest today, CEO and founder of Raise Studios. It's great to have your perspective today with us, and welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Today we met in the forum, and I want to ask you firstly about the forum. How was it? Is it something different from what you have witnessed in the past, or?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's huge. That's what I would say. As usual, for an event here, the scale is impressive. I'm really appreciating how many different tracks there are on all the different stages. But as usual with events like this, whatever the scale, I think what's important is that people are meeting each other, because the energy that you get from a market like this, the connections that you can make, I mean, it's a human business. Everybody's talking about AI, but still, I think it's a human business. So it's nice to meet people and have an opportunity to spark conversations and ideas and hopefully collaborations from it.
I hope to. I have to collaborate something with you.
Absolutely.
Why not? After we finish.
After the podcast, yeah, exactly.
So you talked about AI. How is AI affecting media and news outlets today?
Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? I think it depends on your mentality. If you're a glass half empty or glass half full person.
Yeah.
I think, I like to believe anyway, my view is that AI is another tool that we're going to use. So at the moment, what I can see in our business is lots of people are using AI in the pre-production stages. It's helping with efficiency. It's helping us to plan. So we're using it as a tool that way. Obviously, like all tools, it's only as good as the prompts that you're making, how you're requesting. I think the other thing is there's so many different, when you say AI, it's a catch-all, but it's, there's a lot of tools within that.
Correct.
And I think it's a question of all of us getting to grips with which tool for which uses. But I'm not one of the people that thinks that we will all be replaced. I just think that we're going to have to think carefully about how to use it, but always with that human element. And the thing I would say about AI so far is that what it's doing is synthesizing backwards. So it's looking at what has been created so far, and then it's reformatting that from what it's learned. But human ingenuity and creativity and storytelling is also about what we can do in the future, new things that only humans can come up with. So I think there's a role for both.
In your work today, what matters most in production? Development, format, or audience strategy?
You can't choose all of those. I know that's probably a boring answer for you, but no, you need all of that. I mean, first let's start with the audience. So it's very important, and at Raise Studios we invest heavily in research because we need to understand audience needs. We call them need states. So for example, what you've seen recently from our research is this need state of an emotional payoff. So stories of hope, resilience, where there's a feel-good or a redemption factor in the storyline. These things are becoming more interesting at the moment. So there's so much drama going on in the world and terrible things. Actually, we find an audience now, they want to have more of that emotional payoff. So that when you come to the end of watching something, it's been interesting and you're feeling like it's a good time well spent, but there's also a positive emotional payoff as well. So that's quite interesting. So that's the audience data. The development is crucial. With our model at Raise, what we're trying to do is give developers more time, because the development process in this region traditionally has been quite time poor. So we think that by investing in writing rooms and spending more time in that development stage and deepening the storylines, the character developments, the story arcs, we can try to make a better show. And then the production skills in this region are fantastic already. There's no issue there.
We have to collaborate.
Yeah. I mean, the production skills here are fantastic. I mean, maybe we can come on to talk about it. I mean, obviously, the region is fragmented. This is one of the things that I always feel in this region is there's 500 million people across the region.
Okay.
But everybody approaches the markets in a very distinct way. And I always feel if we could be more cooperative and collaborative, we would get the scale that the region truly deserves.
I hope that. So today we're in a sector where fast-paced media, based on studies, is the dominant factor. How can we stop or change this thing, or does it affect the market in a very strong way in regards of TV broadcasts, TV series, or long documentaries?
What do you mean? Is the pace? Does it affect the output?
Yeah, there is a lot of people today in our region and the world that are really targeting a 45-second video to get their information. If it exceeds that, let's say, timing, they will just
turn off.
Turn off.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, attention deficit. Yeah. Look, I think I know exactly what you mean. I think you have to look at content these days and production of content in its broadest sense, and you also have to be conscious of what each sort of content format is doing for the audience. So you're right that short form microdrama, short form content, snackable content is easy, it's quick, it's fun, it gives you something in between on a journey, it's very personal, it's on a mobile, so it's personal to you.
Close to the heart.
That's right, yeah. So that's very individual, but it's fun and it's snackable. Then you've got non-scripted, for example, slightly longer. That's more about companionship and watching together, and it's very repeatable. Then you've got series, so that's really about emotional immersion. And as I said, it's about the payoff, and it's about driving conversations. So the series that people watch at Ramadan, or the series that you watch on Shahid or Netflix or something like that. And then you've got the films, which are more about sort of cultural capital, event viewing. So all of these pieces of content do different things for an audience. But when you look at, it's all important, because when you look at the size of the Middle East media landscape, media and entertainment market, it's currently $48 billion. It's valued at that today. And it's projected to reach 76 billion by 2031. So that's a 10% compound annual growth rate. It's huge.
Very huge.
And that's why so many people are interested in these markets, because that sort of growth rate you're not getting in the more mature markets. So that's why everybody's very interested. And it's quite, it's driven, particularly in Saudi, but across the Gulf, it's driven by sort of three things, which is the demographics of the region, as you well know.
Yeah.
So you've got this young tech-savvy audience. And what's interesting there is that while it's the millennials that are driving the ad revenue, it's actually Gen Z, to your point, that will be driving the editorial strategies. So, do you need more short form? Has to be digital first. What about e-gaming? All of that sort of stuff. So you've got the demographics, then you've got the infrastructure. So again, here 5G penetration, 100%, all of that amazing infrastructure so that you can have that digital first. And then of course, government support.
Of course.
And that's crucial, right? So they're trying to drive that ecosystem and deliver, economic imperative.
So we talked about it, and I want to re-talk about it, let's say. What type of content is performing the best internationally right now?
Well, again, it depends what type of content we're talking about.
Let's say most watched in terms of views, exposure.
So, there are, what I think is an interesting statistic, and it's something that kind of shocks me, to be honest, is that on YouTube, for example, so on YouTube in the region, 80 million users across the region. Interestingly, I think it's don't quote me on these numbers, but I think it's 3.5 million YouTube premium subscribers, right? So that means they're paying for it.
Okay.
And YouTube in Saudi is a top 10 market for YouTube.
Okay.
So I would imagine that there are fantastic creators on there that I've probably never even heard of, that are doing really, really well and generating this creator economy. Right? So, I can talk to you about Mr. Beast, but there must be, or there should be, Arabic equivalents, right? Yeah. So that's what I hope will be being developed. From a long form content perspective, which is what we're focused more on at Rise, you're beginning to get amazing stories. So there's this cultural shift. So a really great Saudi writer like Abdulaziz Al-Muzaini, who wrote Ras Bi Ras, Head to Head. That was a top 10 show on Netflix, globally, non-English. So you're already seeing these breakthroughs. Nora Abu Shusha, who wrote this, she's a Saudi writer from Jeddah. She wrote Crashing Eid, which did really well in the UK, for example. It's a really great story, very well observed social Saudi story about a girl who was studying in the UK, comes back to Jeddah for the Eid celebrations, bringing her fiancé. She's not told her husband, she's not told her family about the fact that she's engaged. He's of Pakistani origin. They all think he's the driver. You know, it's a comedy. It's hilarious, but it kind of works. It works at many levels.
A lot of people in the region are very attracted to drama and comedy.
Absolutely.
And we had a very strong background in the past, like Abdel Abdul a genius.
Yeah.
So how about investigative journalism and field reports?
Yeah. I was on a panel. I was watching a panel this morning about that. Really interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a crucial part of journalism, and it's also, but the thing is, to your point about time and attention, to do really great investigative journalism takes time.
Yeah.
You know, your story can take a year. If you're going undercover, if you're really investigating something, then that can be a very long process. And I just, I wonder, there is a news cycle now which is so quick.
I think they're targeting 1 minute and a half for investigative journalism and 45 seconds for field reports based on Chartbeat.
Yeah. Well, you get your news on TikTok now, so.
Yeah. People are, I think, having problems differentiating between real news and fake news.
Yeah.
Especially Gen Zs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, but I mean, again, I'm going to be old-fashioned. I'm going to sound old-fashioned now, I know it, but I think that you therefore need brands as signposts for their audience, so that it's like a trust mark. So if you see Al Jazeera, if you see BBC, I don't know, for some people that is a trust mark. But with the Gen Z, I think it's more about, what are my friends looking at?
What is the most shared?
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting.
Let's say today we have an algorithm that reads your interests and delivers it.
And feeds you,
So how is it different from the past and today? In the past, what was the algorithm? It's just for me to know. Yeah, well,
there wasn't. I mean, the algorithm was your own curiosity. There were no algorithms, so you're really making me feel old now. So
I'm not meant to do that.
No, but it's a really good point you're making, because now with the algorithms, what you're getting is an echo chamber. So the more you look at something, like if I look at golf videos, which I do quite a lot. Okay, now I'm a really old person. Then I get fed more golf, right? Yeah. So it creates an echo chamber. So you're only seeing what you
are searching
for.
Yeah.
So it means that if you're curious about something else, you don't find it unless you consciously go and look for it, right? In the old times, when I was working on newspapers, imagine that. You would come across stuff just because it was on the page, right?
Yeah, you're not meant to see it.
Yeah, you weren't meant to see it, but you came across it and you're like, oh, that's quite interesting, and then you'd have to go off and do your own research. So I worry a little bit that it is hindering curiosity, because you're just being fed a diet.
Yeah.
So I think it makes you more sort of
robotic.
It makes you more sort of less reactive, right? Yeah. So you're not as proactive as you perhaps could be.
Nice. So 2 questions left. So where do you see this region fitting into the future of global content?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I'm really optimistic. That's why we're here, and that's why we started Rise Studios here. I think what you're seeing is the rise of non-English language content globally. That's a global trend. So it has doubled in demand from global audiences between 2017 and now now in 25 to 41%. So that's the first thing to say. Why is that happening? I think most of it in terms of TV and films, it's driven by the global streamers.
Okay.
So that's a great trend that we can all take advantage of. So there is a propensity for everybody in the world to watch content that comes from anywhere. So you've seen with Squid Game from Korea, you've seen with Money Heist from Spain.
La Casa de Papel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we would like to find something from this region that will cut through like that.
I can really help you.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Maybe something concerned with heritage.
Yeah.
Because all of the videos that we do about heritage and culture gets extreme exposure.
Does it? Yeah.
It frightens me, to be honest. So the last question, and I'm really willing to listen to the answer. What do you think of our booth, برامجي?
It's great. I love that you have a podcast studio in the middle of this chaotic environment. I'm hoping the soundproofing is good.
No, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And
but podcasting is the way forward, right? Netflix now wants podcasts.
Of course, I think
content is everything.
Also, I've read something that states I told you that investigative journalism, field reports, and podcasts are the dominance in the future.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot.
I did too. Thank you.
I thank you a lot, Miss Amanda. Your insights show how audience-led storytelling is shaping the future of our global content. It's really an honor to meet you and interview you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Amanda.